Hey everyone, it's Jack here, TalkNorwichCity. Welcome back to another video here at the same car park that I seem to be filming a lot of videos in at the moment. I'm having some real issues with this wonderful morning Norfolk sun. So apologies if my face is slightly dark, but you only really need to listen. No one's tuning in for my face. It's again been a really exciting week at Norwich City in Norfolk. It's been an international break, and just as Norwich was starting to kind of get into a real flow with that massively convincing win against Hull City, the international break arrives. We're dealt the news that Angus Gunn is injured, Marcelino Nunez is injured, Jose Cordoba is injured. You're like, wow, that's the core of the squad just, decimated straight away. And then obviously the fears of international football come in. A lot of players now meeting up with their respective groups, whether that be full senior internationals or in the youth setups of these international sides. A lot of this Norwich team are representing their country, which is absolutely brilliant, but it does come with injury fear. And I think Johannes Hoff-Torp has said on a few occasions, like, these are really difficult weeks because you've got some people at base and you're trying to keep them ticking over, and then you've got some people obviously out on duty and you trying to figure out the progress of those guys. Thankfully, no one has come back with fresh injuries, so that's really good. Josh Sargent was the obvious worry as he was meeting up with the United States. So that's really good news. Also good news that Marcelino Nunez and Jose Cordoba look to be fit. Now, that was a real concern heading into this international break, particularly Jose Cordoba, who has been brilliant at centre-back so far this season and is going to be a kind of real key cog to the way that this Norwich side have progressed. So that's good news. Marcelino Nunez also looks like he might feature this weekend, although he hasn't trained for like 10 or 11 days. There was originally a real fear with his hamstring, but that's not as serious as first thought. He's back on the grass, but he's not trained with the team for, as I say, 10 or 11 days. So whether he'll feature or maybe a man called Forson might get called up, then we shall see. But some good injury news there. And also very exciting, as broke by Connor Southwell of the Pinken on Thursday evening, Jack Wilshire is set to become the new first team coach. And of course, there's narrative with this weekend's game against Stoke. Our former first team coach in Narcís Pelach has gone to manage Stoke City, which is a massive job for him. And clearly, shows the talent that he possessed in this Norwich side. It gave Johannes Hoff-Torp and Ben Napper the opportunity to bring in their own man, and they seemingly have opted for Jack Wilshire, who, if you think back a few months, was actually linked with the first team managerial role. That was probably going to be a bit too much of a step up for Jack Wilshire at that time, and thank goodness we got Johannes Hoff-Torp. But this is the calibre that we're talking about here in Jack Wilshire. Still very young. I think he's only 32. Obviously, I remember him coming through the Arsenal ranks as a player. He was so exciting, and I suspect if you're someone like Kellen Fisher, you're looking at the opportunity to be coached by Jack Wilshire and just grabbing that opportunity with both hands. So that feels really, really big, actually, and it shows the progress that Norwich have made, that Jack Wilshire is willing to swap Arsenal for Norwich. And granted, it's a step up in role, but still, you're swapping one of the biggest clubs in world football for Norwich City. And that is a massive compliment to the work that's been going on at the moment, both under Ben Napper, who of course has a relationship with Jack Wilshire, who's formerly at Arsenal, and Johannes Hoff-Torp, who has quickly become one of the most highly rated young kind of coaches in world football. So it feels like every week something small, and in this instance something quite big with the Jack Wilshire news, but Norwich are just edging closer to where we want to be, and that is of course an established Premier League team. And it's going to be slow, and it's going to take sizable investment, and it's going to take a lot of work and a lot of continued good work this season. We're certainly not going to get too carried away with things, but there is an opportunity here for Norwich to do something quite special. And things seem to be moving in the right direction. I've been so incredibly impressed by Ben Napper, who was clearly come in, and Stuart Webber was still here, and he was trying to figure out the lay of the land, and that was probably quite a difficult thing for Ben to do. And now he's just owning everything, and he's owning it as his own and making some really good decisions. Recruitment-wise, both with on-field talent and coaching staff seems to be really good. The players seem to like him. He's just moving forwards, and I suspect if you're Mark Atanasio and the holdings group that will be taking this Norwich team forwards, you're incredibly impressed with the work that Ben Napper has done. So that's really good. Jack Wilshire will come in as first team coach to sit under Johannes Hoff-Torup and next to Glenn Riddlesholme. It is a tricky few weeks now for Norwich City in terms of fixtures. It's Stoke at the weekend, it's then Preston in midweek. I think 4 of the next 5 games are away from home. These are the types of periods where you need your squad fit. You need to find some momentum. If Norwich can pick up, 3 wins in the next 5 games, I think that would be a pretty good return. And it's just keeping things moving forwards. Quick succession now. Saturday, Tuesday. These are the types of periods where you can really start to gather some good traction, or you fall away and suddenly you're looking up at the top 6 rather than being in and amongst that race. But I feel good about this team. I think the progress that we've made so quickly has been remarkable. There will continue to be bumps in the road. There's no doubt about that. But we're creating big chances. Defensively, we look solid. The concern going into the next couple of weeks will be the injury to Angus Gunn. George Long will come in. Look, George Long statistically was one of the worst goalkeepers in the division last season in the small period that he came in for Angus Gunn. But we just have to get behind him. He's been given a new contract. Clearly, the club deem him a suitable number 2. Let's hope that now that he's got his opportunity to come in with Angus with that side strain, that he delivers. He needs to, because Angus has been good this season, and we shall see. I think that the thing that's always frustrated me slightly with George Long, he seems to be so stuck to his line. He will need to be better with the ball at his feet. He will need to be on his toes, quite literally. And we shall see if that happens. But that will be the weakness, I think, for Norwich over the next couple of weeks. We need to, smooth this situation out, and we need to kick on, because there will, continue to be more injuries this season. But on the whole, things are looking really bright, and everyone I speak to, I think the sense I'm getting is everyone I speak to is enjoying their football once again. And that's what it's all about. We went through Dean Smith, we went through David Wagner, and look, it wasn't the worst thing in the world. Norwich were operating towards the top end of the Championship table. I'm not looking for sympathy here, but the football certainly wasn't entertaining, and I don't think we have that on-field connection that we've got with this squad now, and it's certainly fun to watch. Off the back of a couple of really good wins, there's opportunity here for Norwich to kick on. Stoke on Saturday, it's going to be fascinating with Pelach in the Stoke dugout. I mean, he certainly knows how this Norwich team are trying to play, as does probably Johannes Hoff-Torup know how this Stoke City side are wanting to play. Away games in this division, whoever it's against, are never easy, but this Norwich team are playing some really good football at the moment. I'm expecting big things to continue. So I'm really looking forward to it. Jack Wilshire in the dugout, that will be fun. Expecting big things from him, his managerial career. I think the overarching message I want to get across in this video to everyone watching is things are moving forwards. Every day, every week, there's something where you go, oh, that's impressive, either from Torup or the players or Ben Napper or the Atanasio group. Things are moving in the right direction, and that feels really good. Safe trip to anyone heading up north on Saturday or on Tuesday. We've got a watch along coming on Tuesday, so please do tune into that if you're sitting at home. And stay safe, everyone. Bye-bye.